Welcome to the Outside the Business Boxes podcast, where we're talking about how to ignite your business today for the future using systems for everything you do in your business to make your life, your employees' lives, and your customers' lives easier for you to ultimately enjoy your business and, of course, make more money. I'm your host, Chad Murray. Hello again. Thank you for coming to Outside the Business Box podcast. I am Chad Murray, your host. You are going to have to listen at your own risk today because we are definitely going to get into some trouble, or at least going to talk about a little bit of trouble that I've been into lately. So, I got to tell you, I wanted to get on here today. I prepared something for today, and I'm going to record it another day because I got a lot of anxieties right now. And I wanted to share them with everybody. Just to let everybody know, just because you run a big business doesn't mean you don't have huge anxieties. I mean, one of my best podcasts with the most listened to is The Anxiety of an Entrepreneur I did a year and a half ago. And it was just me, just like today. I just got on and I let her rip. And that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to let her rip. I'm going to tell you what's going on in my world and what has got me so, literally anxiety. So I did go to my cabin and it helped out with my anxieties, and it did help. And I got to tell you, one of the biggest things about having work anxiety. I don't have anxieties outside of work. I have none. My anxiety is all due to previous past scenarios that I don't want to revisit. I don't want to be broke ever again. I don't want to lose a ton of money ever again. I don't want all this is what I have. I don't want to do again, right? I want to learn from what my experiences. And for the most part, I have. And I got to tell you, the last 4 years has been, as a business coach, has just exploded what I'm able and capable to do even at Masters, just because of the way I've changed a little bit, the way I've been able to help other people, but what they've done for me, helping me. I mean, like when stuff's hitting the fan, like they're especially, helping people through COVID, that was awesome. But it was happening to me as well, right? So, I mean, I was going through it with them. And then after that, everything, I learned a lot from my clients as well. But I mean, when it comes to running the business, I've got that pretty well down. Now, I got to tell you, so one of my anxieties right now is we really are having a hard time, or I don't even know if the management's focusing on it as much as they need to be, because I'm looking at through our pictures this week, and I'm not seeing any of my crews wearing their hard hats and harnesses. And I gotta tell you, if you know me, you know how much my heart went into that with Jim Brewer helping us out, and I'm really sincere that they have to wear their stuff, and that this isn't an option. Now, Cody, my sales manager, he's gotten the sales guys, what we call educators, on board. I see pictures of them wearing, they're sending videos to my social media girl, who's my daughter, Madeline. And they just posted one this week of one of my newer guys doing a video of his setup and how he got up on the roof and had all his stuff on, all his gear on. And obviously did it as safe as possible, which is what I want. But my crews, there's something to be said when you've got really good crews that really do the work. They're kind of old dogs. And I'm having that old dog fight right now. I really am. And I just, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. If any of my employees are listening, I put the gauntlet down on an email about an hour ago to management saying, kind of give them an ultimatum. It's either them or us. And it ain't going to be me. I own the company. So something's going to have to give here. They're going to, if they want bonuses and raises, we're not asking. We're telling you to do this. And so I'll see how the email is received tomorrow with the management team, or even tonight. They might even read it. But I'm just, I know how to manage these kind of scenarios because you know why? When I have anxiety about something and I go rabid fixation obsessed with fixing that problem. So I wouldn't have this situation that's drawn out for nearly 8 months of getting these guys to wear their stuff. I would have already hired 5 guys and trained them to be crew leaders and replaced them all. I don't care how good you are. You're not going to do what we do, and it is what it is. And the problem is that they're not doing that. Now I get it. It's been a little harder to hire people, but I'm sorry. I mean, where there's a will, there is a way. And we honestly haven't had that much problems to hire people. I mean, a little bit, but not too terribly bad. And so we could have easily found 3 or 4 new guys to replace it. But anyway, my anxiety took over, and I wrote this email. And my anxiety has way calmed down than it was last week. It was very high stress. So to start off, what happened with my anxiety is there were about 5 things that was going on with me in the last 10 days. Number one, my daughter, beautiful Madeline, works at the company, got married. So I had that build up. We had friends coming into town that stayed with us for 10 days. I had that anxiety. Our Google, our AdWords account got hacked, and we've been selling chairs. I don't know how many chairs we've sold, but I have spent a wad money of selling chairs, and then they changed our settings around enough to where I had to go hire Hosio, that's been doing some other stuff for me for years now, in there, and I had to hire them to take over my AdWords account. And boy, they already just checked. They've already got me number 1 in AdWords and in the ads, in the business listing ads. I mean, right there. So I'm hopefully starting next week crushing. We noticed how there was we weren't really getting that many calls this last couple weeks. And now it's slowed down. It's that time of year, so it's kind of like that kiss of death. But I felt something stinky. I knew it. My anxiety was there's something not right here. Well, we also, because we've kind of laid back, we also, there's a lot of new companies coming in, a lot of fake companies coming in too with clickbait companies in the chimney business in Texas. And so we got to combat that. And my Google listing has dropped. It's not first everywhere like it used to be, or at least being shown. So we had to, go beast mode on, what we could do to get that back up. That's anxiety ridden because that's free. And right now I'm not on everything I used to be to be able to run the numbers we want. I mean, my anxiety is always, if we have enough calls and not making money, the calls will develop into money. But when you don't have calls, it's really hard to make money. And so our call volume is down about 50% right now, and I don't like it. Now, here we are. I've got that happening. I'm buying a new property, 5 acres in Ponder, Texas, to move Masters Corporate over there. They want a huge fat check, about 30% of my cash that I have, which scares me. But my bills will go down, but still that scares me. That's happening right now. It's, all this stuff just adds up, and you just feel like you got this ton of weight on you, right? And I felt it last week. It hit me. And I'm sorry, Steve and John, especially Steve at Hosio. I blew them up. I mean, and they are getting on it and helping out. But I mean, and not their fault, blew them up by just acting like a rabid, scared sissy. Just help me out, blah, blah, blah. And they're on it. So, I mean, if you need a marketing thing, I know there's other ones out there, and and I know them well, and they're good at what they do. Hosio is a pretty, I know the 2 owners, they are awesome. They do a great job. They do GMB listings. They do your SEO. They'll help you with your AdWords. I mean, they got it down. I know a lot of their crews. I've been coaching them for a while. Or I mean, not their crews, their employees, and they got their shit together. And so they're about to get my shit together because I've been hampering them. We did our own Google AdWords. I wouldn't let them touch my GMB page and blah, blah, blah. And I just had to surrender. This last week, I surrendered. I gave them the keys to my kingdom. Now, the difference here is just a little lesson before I go down any rabbit holes. Uh, Hire someone that knows what they're doing and do what you do best. Back in the day, I do my own AdWords, I did my own all this stuff, and I got us to where we are now. And I have hired other people, and they've screwed me over, and it's been rough. But I would do. I mean, I trust Hosio, and so they really, literally. I know that they're not going to screw you over. They're not going to do something for you and forget about you. You can call up and talk to them personally. They'll get it done. So I didn't want to make this whole podcast about Hosio, but they really did. They really did straighten me out a little bit this week and help out. So that's good. So here we have all this stuff happening to me, and it's like I get to go to the cabin, and I get to the cabin, and first day still kind of looking at everything, just still kind of feeling a little bit. Friday night, we started drinking. I did not get drunk, but I got to that fun place where you just felt really good. Not quite. I guess you call it getting buzzed. I got that buzz on, and it was nice. It's kind of gone. It's kind of my anxiety's kind of gone away now. So what I was saying is so what do? You get to work on your business when shit starts happening, right? When you start getting anxiety ridden. The cure is to work the fuck out of your business at that time. Now, excuse me for my language, but that is what you do. So what did I do last week? So you want to know about anxiety. So my general manager, John, on vacation last week. My assistant general manager's mom dies Monday. Gone. Cody then takes the reins with my mom and my stepdad who work for me, and David, and they all run the company. And I'm looking at the schedule going, we got some okay estimates possibly coming up. But boy, I called Cody up and said, we need to do this, and this. Callbacks this, callback that, to make sure that they're doing all their stuff correct. And we sold triple of what we've ever sold in March. Best week ever for sales. Set us up last week, set us up this week. So now we're a week ahead, which we have never been. I mean, we're breaking even next week. Well, we have a $50,000 job that's not even on the books. That's supposed to go on the books. So that might get split between this week and the following week. So all of a sudden, boom, just by getting in there and leading everybody and doing that, the whole thing turned around. Now, what did I do then? So then I also asked Hosio to set me up you have these called these heat maps for my Google listings. I need to see where I'm at. I got to track. We got a new app to get reviews, and it's check-ins too. And I'm like, okay, what I need to do and that's one of the biggest things to do to get your what do you call it? Your Google reviews and everything, because it's attached. You have a check-in, and then you send a review from the same place, and they give you a review. It really helps your Google listings, and it acts as like these little pings for Google, and all of a sudden you'll start ranking way wider view than just where your address is on the Google Maps. We just started it, so we're all over this. Everything I read is what is good for this. But if check-ins mean nothing if you don't get a review. If you don't get the Google review, it's like such a small point for Google. It's not that big of a deal. But you add a review, a picture and a video, a picture or a video, hopefully a video, to every check-in, and then get a review. That's the diamond gold. That's the platinum. What you want to get done. And so we wrote up I wrote up an SOP for that. So all this stuff I just started to do this week. That was on Monday and Tuesday. And then boom, it just skates right through. We start so here's another thing. I'll have to count them up here real quick and just bear with me. But this is our first year doing our warranty calls / forward scheduling. And so I told the call center, I said, listen, you need to start scheduling all the educators, 1 or 2 of them a day from, that we have all scheduled in April. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You get my picture, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 warranty calls, which we would have never done in the past. 25 times 250, we generated $6,000 cash from that this week. Wow. That's the difference of why I'm not a $10 million company. Had I taken the 80,000 customers over the years and done this, I'd be a $10 million company. So guys, if you are not forward scheduling, what we call warranty call, we make it to where all warranties or all jobs get scheduled a warranty next year, roughly whatever, typically the spring, before we even schedule the work to be done. That's our system. So you want to talk about systems? That's my system. As soon as they hit the approval button, they call the call center, or the educator calls the call center. The girl in the call center schedules next year before we even do the work. And so far, so I just told them, I think it was Tuesday, might have even have been Wednesday last week. I said, let's start. It was Wednesday. I said, let's start scheduling those that we have in April and May. Let's start bringing them right now to get some cash flow. And 25 generated $6,200, $6,250 this next week. And we've also noticed that when we had them, even people have called back, we started selling them some upgraded stuff and remodels. So they didn't want to buy the remodel back then or even talk about it. Now, let's talk about a remodel. Let's talk about getting your dryer vent done if they didn't do it before. Let's talk about gas logs if they didn't buy them initially, because now they don't have that big bill, that big repair now. So that's our system. And so I am just, besides myself, that it'd be nice to have 25,000 to 30,000 a week doing that, because I had the customers do it. But as we build and as we go on, we will keep having our warranty issues, our warranty start building, and we will build the business that way. Okay, so anxiety. Back to anxiety. Write a check literally for $250,000 in the next couple of weeks to buy a property. Yes, it's going to save me around $5,000 a week. $5,000 a month in rent that will go to me. It's 5 acres in Ponder, Texas. I'm going to build a training facility, and all this week is just you're buying a house, the anxiety of everything's going great in your life. You got your credit perfect, you got the down payment, and you're going to buy a house, and you have that stress. I have that stress on top of all this other stress this week, and so I got to tell you, I was a little bit of a basket case. I got to admit it. And as I went through the week and went to the cabin, and I sit here, I record on Sundays or Monday nights, and it's Sunday afternoon now. I'm sitting here and I don't feel any of it. And I look back at last week. We ended up having the best week ever in sales in March. Ever. 26 years. Never had. I'll just tell you, we sold just under $144,000. Normally we sell $50,000. So almost 3 times is what we sold. Okay. I did the girls doing the warranty calls coming in, scheduled what I just said, 25 of them. That puts some money in the bank, or money on the books for the next week coming up. I did the check-ins and the reviews. And as a matter of fact, I think we got 9 reviews last week for Dallas and Houston between the 2 cities, which is phenomenal. That with check-ins and pictures. I got a heat map now. What I was trying to say earlier, I got a heat map app, or excuse me, a log, one of these places that you go online and you can buy credits, and you can run a heat map on your Google listing and see where you're popping up 1, 2, 50th, 20 plus, where it actually says 20 plus if you're not even being shown. And I was shocked. Either I fell off hard, or we never really had that great of a presence in the Google Maps. And it might be both. We may have fallen off a little bit, and maybe we never had the scope that I always thought we had. And so, yeah. So, it's an interesting deal to do that. Anxieties. I mean, as I sit and I think about the last week, what I really want to bring to you about all these anxieties is I sat most of Monday and not literally, but figuratively cried about what was going on in my life and looking at my business, looking at my rankings, nobody's calling. Sales, at least at the time, most of Monday was not that good. We weren't scheduled. It was the worst Monday we'd ever scheduled in appointments. Normally we schedule anywhere from 15 to 50 on a Monday, on a not counting the fall. We scheduled 7. So I was freaking out. And then you go to look at your rankings and you're not there. My SEO is climbing up again. We've done some work on the SEO. That's just nice. Don't ever let anyone tell you SEO is dead. It is not. You know, so as I sit here and I look back at last week, I worked my business. And I let the management who was not even there, I let the assistants Cody's not an assistant, but I let, my mom and Rory handle it, and they did an outstanding and Gina, I forgot Gina, my call center manager. So whenever you start, people always want to know what to do. What do I do when it slows down? Well, you work your business. You do something that you don't normally do. You get obsessed with something you're doing good to bring in more people and do that. Either way, whatever you do, this is the biggest thing. If you take anything out of my podcast, is this: whenever you do something, there's a reaction. So if you do something for your business that's going to result in something good, it will result in something good. It's never a gamble. It will result in something good. So if it's making your guys do more callbacks, if it's the call center needs to call out and ask for reviews, or hey, could you do a review for us? Whatever you may need to do. If you need to do training, schedule the time off, do the overtime for it if you have to. Whatever you got to do, start doing it. And the results are typically tenfold. I mean, they are. And they typically last quite a long time. I mean, think about it. You got where you are, if you've been in business long enough. You got where you are when you first started business. You are so hyper-focused. Well, then you kind of got into I'm running my business now. And the hyper-focus kind of turns into technician focus. Hey, I'm guilty at this too. This is not... I may teach how to run businesses and teach a lot of sales stuff now, but I got to tell you, I don't know if we so much worked on the business properly the way I really wanted to do to lead up to what we had this last week. And so I got in there, I managed the management, and look how it resulted. And I'm gonna guess, I'm gonna guess that we probably have another good week right now coming up. The schedule's not completely full, but we'll definitely schedule appointments, and my anxiety's gone. Now, the biggest clue to when you're having anxiety literally is when you are feeling it, you're moody, you're just not quite yourself. You know what it is, but you can't say it, or maybe you can't pinpoint it, or you can and you're not telling anybody. I gotta tell you, I talked it out with the guys at the cabin. I even talked it out a little bit before I left on Thursday with my wife. Actually, to tell you the truth, Wednesday night I talked about, my wife and I were just about ready to turn the lights off in bed, and she said, "What's the matter?" And I hadn't said anything or nothing. She goes, "What's the matter?" And I said, "I don't want to bother you, honey, with all this. It's just work and stuff." And she goes, "Well, what is it? Let's talk about it." I said, and I try to keep her out of that. She wants to be kept out of it typically, but she's like, "Well, honey, it's our business, and if it's affecting you like this, let me talk." Hour later, we're finally turning the lights out. That was the start to my anxiety recover. By the way, Mike, I know you're listening, Mike Fazy. He called me up, I believe it was Tuesday. It might have been even Monday. Called me up and wanted to talk a little bit about something, and we talked about it. And then he he kind of goes, well, what's the matter? He got caught me, and I'm just like, blah, and I didn't yell at him. I'm just like letting him float out all my anxieties, and it's funny. He kind of it was very pleasing to me. Not so much at the time, but I think now I look at it. He's laughing at me, not because of my situation, because he feels the anxiety is in this case, especially writing the big check and everything will be fine type of deal. He's like, dude, you're fine. You got this, and kind of talk to me out. So, talk to somebody. If you want to talk to me, call me. I've been through every anxiety you can have in business. Go ahead, pick up the phone, dial 972-877-3585. That's my cell, and I'll be glad to talk to you. Probably ought to text me if I don't know you first and tell me who you are, or messenger me. And, let's talk through it. I always win. I always get through my anxieties, and I get through it. And it always is such a benefit, such a huge benefit. Every time I have something that goes wrong, and when I start getting anxieties or something's just not right, I fix it because I have these anxieties, and I did that. And so, yeah. So if you need help with your anxieties, or at least how to run your business, call me. If you need help with your guys not selling enough, if your guys don't have 1,000 SPO, I got to tell you again, I know I've been bragging on this because I'm very proud of the fact that I could take my coaching skills and go to the chimney employee, and I could take them and make them better. So now in my second group, I've got 2 or 3 guys that are on fire. And so I can't take everybody to the water and make them drink. I can take them to the water. That means they're going to show up to my course, and I could, show them how to sell chimney stuff, masonry stuff. Can they drink? I don't know. But the guys that drink the water, they're killing it. We're talking about, I got business owners right now going, how in the hell did you do that? It's my system. It's my process of how you sell masonry repairs. There's a whole process. It's just not garbage. It's verbiage. There's a way to do it, and I've evolved it over time. I've gotten help from, Lindemans. I've gotten help from Alan Rush, just from talking to him and doing his Monday morning minutes. I have my own actual process that we've added some stuff to and subtracted some stuff to, and I'll tell you, it works. I can take, if you've got a guy that will drink the water at the trough that I'm going to feed him, he will double and triple his sales. I promise. I'm not guaranteeing it, but I promise they will. I can't guarantee it because I can't promise if they're going to drink the water. And so, anyway, guys, NCSG is coming up. The convention, I'm super excited. I'll be there. I'll have a booth. I wasn't chosen to speak or do anything, and hopefully that'll change at the expo and the next convention. Hopefully I'll get known a little bit more out there for more of the sales and all the kind of stuff that I do. So I am excited to get down there to help as many people as I possibly can. And so if you want to get a hold of me, I gave you the cell phone. Just hit the rewind, or you can messenger me or you can email me at chat@outsidethebusinessbox. So guys, that's my time. I'm going to go sit down and spend a little time with my family and enjoy the rest of the weekend. And I hope for you all, just go get yourself in trouble. Because if you do, you're going to fix some stuff. And so I'm glad you listened. And I'm glad that you did it at your own risk. And guys, that's it. I'm out.